For those who are really selected, the winds of waking blow strong. However, the most important issue is, are you listening to the call? Gabriel here welcomes you to the awakening of the selected. Let's explore a topic today upon which the path of your target relies. Long attempting to warn you of an unavoidable spiritual disaster, two apostles, celestial protectors of their way, have been disregarded. His spirit drew him here, as this revelation is deliberate and divinely led, meant solely for those having a higher call within themselves. It is not random. Today, the revelation I deliver is nothing less than a strong key to your awakening. A key that will open the protection against forces acting invisibly, and at the same time, prepares it for a bigger destination. Ignoring this warning is similar to walking away from the lit stage of your mission and running the danger of missing a rare intervention from heaven. This is not a basic alert. Ignoring may be a major spiritual blunder of sorts, blocking the door to communication meant to guard, lead, and, above all, raise your goal in this life. You know, the sensation on your spine or the numbers that spring into your eyes might be more than just chance events. Share with us in the comments if you have previously experienced this spiritual restlessness. It is rather crucial to realize that we are not traveling this holy road alone. And if this film speaks to you, savor it as evidence that your road is a well-crafted heavenly symphony rather than a happenstance. Prepare your heart because, provided by the two apostles, anticipated for this heavenly moment when it will open to its natural call. We shall unravel this celestial protection and the invitation to a greater destination in the next second. The apostles are calling out a truth as pure as the starlight, but one that has been purposefully hidden from the masses. It reflects the dazzling of their spirit. This message reveals a reality that throbs right before your eyes, not an airy notion or hollow spiritual conjecture. However, few have the bravery to really perceive. Feel it then. You were selected, and this is a gentle but firm whisper indicating so. Consider your life as a large ocean. For a long period, you have been swept away by the tides without realizing the unseen force preserving the equilibrium of the seas. The disclosure of the curtain covering these latent powers is the result of the apostles' phenomenon, though in actuality, it saps his vitality and pulls him off his natural spiritual path. It is a clever trick, an evil presence hidden behind the garb of Buddy. This idea is going to be revealed before you like a shadow, disappearing at the morning. Maybe in your life you have had inexplicable emptiness, exhaustion that never seemed appropriate, or repeated events you thought conquered. All of these point to proof that something unseen saps their vitality and stunts their development. Hearing this message, start to recall those times when intuition appeared to yell on your chest, but you couldn't completely comprehend it. These were the heavenly synapses, striving to lead you over great tumult. Your spiritual road depends on your awareness of this fact, as it is the means to emerge from darkness and into the light, always meant to be brilliant. Ignoring the call of this apostle will cause you to keep running over unloving mazes and never-ending cycle of frustration. But right now, you have the chance to break free and permanently change your life from past delusions. Feel the force and immediacy of this insight pulsing inside. The bonds that have to be severed almost ready to be severed. Prepare. The following instant will allow us to go even more deeply, facing and conquering the forces, trying to stray you from your divine purpose. The trip hardly started when the illumination comes around a bend. You start to see that this spiritual reality is larger than any horizon currently registered as we expose these underlying levels of knowledge. See your life as a stage on which the people around you perform roles that sometimes support, sometimes damage your performance. But what if some of these players were experts of disguise, veering the audience, you, from the actual heavenly script? Though it is up to you to decide to look, apostles provide us the focus to highlight these invisible faces. Maybe at some time, you discovered a scenario where everything around you seemed to be working against your best wishes, casting shadows on your view. Ask yourself how often you hesitated in the face of a choice because your intuition is imprisoned and something you cannot identify. What has to be revealed and changed is this energy, this subtle presence. See your spiritual development as an eagle flying on your maiden flight, having to ascend unreachable heights. Before it soared, the eagle had to guard its wings and carefully monitor every airstream. Like the eagle, you are meant to steadily soar above worldly demands while keeping a conscious link with your most inner drive. This appeal also echoes in the Holy Stated, where the Verb is created flesh, and as it says, the light cannot be hidden under a bushel, but must be placed to the candlestick. Closing their eyes to this reality is comparable to the arrest of ancient times. Those who stay in ignorance are punished to wander in circles, constantly returning to the same prison of suffering and discontent. But by embracing and combining this understanding, you break these currents and let your inner light shine free from obstacles, therefore attaining mental freedom that transforms every day into a rebirth of heavenly promise. When you really consider this road, ask yourself, am I willing to take charge of my spiritual destiny and reject the position of just spectator? We may say that you already carry the power of a spiritual giant, only waiting for the right opportunity to really show itself. Then be ready to investigate the processes that will release this transcending power, therefore leading your path towards the light you always held in your core. As we keep exploring the depths of being, we discover a road, even if difficult, that is full with spiritual significance and higher goal. This helps one to understand that the second step, purification by experience, is a process of clearing ready for something great rather than a punishment. This is not just anguish. Rather, it is the furnace that forms the steel of your soul and will radiate in its natural state. Every stride on the selected road is like the time a seed travels to sprout on apparently barren ground. Growth is under progress, even if at first invisible and undetectable to the unaided sight. Searching for food, its roots hunt for water, diving below before exposing the promise of life above the surface. Likewise, your challenges are feeding your spiritual development and getting you ready to blossom. At last, review the third step, alignment and integration. You get to a condition where both peace and clarity live after purification. In this condition, his soul discovers in tune with his reserved destiny, a harmonious beat that connects with his divine nature and actual wishes. Synchronicities, sensations of fullness and purpose are felt. Every attitude and idea reflects a calm satisfaction. Many people stay caught in a repeating cycle, unable to attain the transcendence promised by spiritual development in avoiding these phases. Always help yourself from the same apologies and self-imposed constraints, caught in a period of repeating like gold that never feels the purifying fire. On the other hand, by facing these facts and difficulties, you welcome your metamorphosis and start a calm stream of shining events and fresh opportunities. Here and now, let yourself consider your actions. Every decision and every internal transformation invites the depths of your inner wisdom, the unfathomable knowledge that results from complete acceptance of the path. Will you aim and allow yourself to show like polished gold in the furnace of divine truth? Under the aim of returning this knowledge to use, let us keep on transforming not only our life, but also the environment we live in. The spiritual metamorphosis of a selected is a deliberate process, driven by supernatural forces operating within us and showing themselves in ways we may not immediately understand, not the result of happenstance. As a celestial clock whose points constantly point to light, these systems exist to stimulate the development and elevation of our awareness, therefore performing the role of orienting us with our divine destiny. Awakening of internal influence comes first. This first stage is the awareness of the faint voices speaking in your soul, spiritual omen showing up as intuition, little goosebumps, premonitory nightmares, or an inner voice calling for transformation. At this point, an increasing drive to investigate deeper truths shows the spirit whispering to the mind and body about the necessity of a new road. Feel the same energy that the prophets have sensed, that which is blowing through you. Second step, experience helps one to become purified. You discover obstacles that try your trust and resistance, just as gold is cleansed in fire. Separating what is real from what is false helps the spirit to become stronger by means of this necessary purification, shaped in difficulty. At this point, the body may be tired and the intellect is unsure. The evidence of fire, where the will is aligned with that of the Creator, is what guides us. Alignment and integration come in third step. You reach the alignment with your heavenly purpose when you eliminate distractions and clear your vision. Here, your life's patterns start to align, creating a deliberately selected tapestry and goal. Paul's eyes awakened to the truth after his encounter on the Damascus Road, and so his new road shows itself, beckoning him on. Along this road, you will encounter doubts and surely come across those who contradict your beliefs. It will be like traversing a desert, where the unwavering trust in its spiritual goal is the only thing keeping one going. Ignoring these systems is selecting stagnation, repeating the same old patterns of spiritual lethargy that enslave those who do not seek the truth. It becomes therefore imperative to savor this moment and submit to the divine flow. Let procrastination not extinguish the spark that presently burns inside of you. The moment is here. For those who dissent, deny themselves the completeness of the promised metamorphosis. The third phase helps us to discover how to properly implement this knowledge in your life, thereby turning possibilities into actual success. I sense the spiritual cosmos extending towards our earthly knowledge as we progress to untangle the internal and external systems controlling spiritual ascension. These systems, unlike straightforward procedures, are holy paths for metamorphosis. That is, the stages of a change. They exist to take you from a restricted state of awareness to enlightened and integrated growth, where truth shines with purity and clarity. This trek starts with the period of the awakening of internal influence. Here, the selected one is invited to reignite the flame of connection with his inner self by attentive listening to the intuitions and insights the soul offers. This phase introduces a continuous stream of discoveries and thoughts, therefore influencing the mind. For the body, it is a tactile impression of energy, a faint cold not denied by anything. Then the purifying process, via experience, occupies space. This is a time when the spirit is pushed to transcend personal constraints by direct experience, therefore finding and diluting resistance. The difficulties the selected experiences are the crystallization of the teachings he has to learn. Every conquering marks a fresh run up the lighting ladder. Though slowness seems to have as its destiny, like Moses in the wilderness, it is really a preparation to enlightenment. At last, alignment and integration provide a conjuncture where the intellect is clear and the spirit achieves a thin tune with destiny. The events lived thus combine in an integrated manner, thereby fostering a harmonic coexistence between their inner goal and their outward expression of everyday life. In this condition, you begin to behave with unquestionable internal leadership and intuition. Ignoring these systems results in potential stays gross and undeveloped, since refined gold in fire. A promise wasted, caught in a chilly, inflexible cycle impossible of shining. However, the selected one becomes a living forge of change, expressing the splendor of creation, discovered every moment in a state of constant growth and beauty, by realizing and using the effect of these processes. Please let me feel the necessary so-called to experience these realities in all their entirety. This is an age to hasten into a better harmony with its intended purpose, not one for deferring spiritual ambitions. The truth demands being seen, heard, and most importantly, lived in every breath you take. Two selected individuals, both affected by the same truth, but designated for different paths, find themselves among the great entwining of the lives. Imagine the first, an enlightened person, applying the divine truth to every breath and choice, chooses to open the doors of his destination after hearing the apostles' summons. Though the storms of life attempt to ignore it, this selected walks with clarity and resolve. Its core is like a continuous flame, lighting your days, even if the darkness seem ahead. Conversely, it is the selected that opposes. Rejecting the soothing touch of the spirit gently asking change, he finds himself imprisoned in the captivity of uncertainty and anxiety. His days are a continuous echo of discontent. His expression is one of regret and despair, as the difficulties he encounters look as insurmount mountains. Think about the return to core story of the prodigal child. Like the son who squandered his fortune and discovered suffering, the reluctant selected oscillates in repeating cycles and reaches fresh depths of melancholy. And when the kid returns home and the truth is accepted, the chosen one has a wonderful rebirth that brings serenity to her relationships and direction for her spiritual trip. Think, dear chosen, today you follow one of these roads? Do you believe the watercolor of divine activity is lacking, or perceive your life as a vibrant tapestry by the enlightened decisions? Accepting this fact is an act of personal bravery, whose effects are felt at the core of your life and beyond historical boundaries. The effect is great in the cosmic dance of choosing. Those who chose acceptance convert their days into bright headlights. Those who do not continue to sail in the sea of uncertainty. Decide now, as every decision marks its brand throughout eternity. And when we pass this barrier of knowledge, we become ready for the activities that will enable this metamorphosis into a live, colorful reality within you. It is unavoidable as we keep following the scenario of the selected days to face the dichotomy between two alternative destinations, the one who welcomes his divine essence and the one who opposes the summons. The first selected walks with an open heart and strong spirit by accepting his truth, knowing he is a necessary component of a well-traveled road. He is at peace with ambiguity. Its difficulties are like river passing waves, softly guiding it into the ocean of illumination. Think about Joseph's past. In the midst of every difficulty, how can one be sold and unfairly imprisoned, while nevertheless keeping their faith and vision fit for the greater horizon? Those who choose this road discover in the challenges taken advantage of their development. Supported by the strong pillars of a spirit tuned with the divine, their connections expand and blossom. Conversely, we have decided to gaze away from light out of mistrust or anxiety. Haunted by the shadow of unmet promise, it drags into a quagmire of ongoing discontent. This decision affects their relationships, which can become shallow and full of tension. The vital flow that should move it, stagna, produces a life experience full of missed regret and possibilities. Imagine the story of the talents. The servant who hid his talent for fear gathered only subjugation to darkness, while his softer friends enjoyed plenty, multiplied their contributions, and got much more in return. It is a sobering reminder that inertia and opposition just accentuate the unseen shares of our own constraints. I counsel him to ask himself, which of these paths is my life today? And to realize that the embrace of truth is a heroic act of emancipation and the chance to really live his calling. This is where the path splits, and the power of choice is enormous. You may keep as it is, or advance to welcome all the possibilities the universe has envisioned for you. Thus, when you get at the time of this decision, examine yourself and ask yourself, what legacy should I leave as a chosen of God? The next action should be performed with confidence and bravery, as it will determine not just your path, but also the brilliant influence your presence will have on this hungry planet of light and love. True transformation is a living force that has to be awakened by deliberate and intentional activity. It is not sedentarized in abstract ideas. Not just in the consideration of height, the selected one climbs in the field. Those that approach the pragmatic application of these information feel a real spiritual ascent. Already those who postpone stay in the invisible bonds of yesterday. I provide 3 very spiritual techniques to help you on this path, so that this discovery blossoms in your life. First practice is divine connection meditation. Look for a quiet area in your house, away from outside disturbances. Feel comfortable. Shut your eyes and state clear objectives like, I connect with divine truth within me. See a golden light engaging your being. Integrate your energy with the larger mission. Spend at least 15 minutes every day in this practice to experience the tranquility of divine presence and get quiet direction. The second practice is talking with your inner self. Set aside times of introspective isolation when writing becomes a portal between you and the most profound. Ask the paper, what today needs to be transformed? Then let your hand go free from control. This approach heals and clarifies, exposing secret facts and focusing on required improvements. Third practice, spiritual alignment actions. Every day, decide to show compassion or kindness by helping someone else, listening to someone with empathy, or forwarding encouraging words. This discipline anchors the high vibrations in your own reality and shines the light of your soul externally. And now, I set you a spiritual challenge to listen to your intuition for 20 to 24 hours. Note everything that just brushes the brink of your awareness and consider this hidden message. Maybe a memory, a sensation or concept sets off a heavenly insight. Still, it is inevitable to run into internal opposition. Even if destructive, the human mind enjoys what is known. This first pain is no longer the compass showing that it is moving in the proper path. Persevere, as those who break through these barriers gain great clarity and profound discoveries. Your path from now on will be shaped by your attitude to this reality. Right now, the cry is reverberating. Will you hear and react to the height of your wonderful fate? Understanding this information is not just a theoretical finding, but also a key to unlocking the doors to the real and long-lasting change as we sail the possible transformation that awaits each choice. The rival of the enlightened spirit is inertia. Those who live by these values will be able to transcend the historical repetitious trends. I present 3 spiritual exercises to begin this road of application. First practice, spiritual clarity meditation. First, start by designating a holy area in your house. This might be a calm nook covered with objects that uplifts your soul, like crystals or candles. Feel peacefully, shut your eyes, and inhale deeply. Visualize a calm light filling your thoughts and illuminating your aspirations as you concentrate your attention in a mantra or phrase like, "I am a manifestation of divine light." Spend at least 10 minutes per day practicing and experiencing the subtle and peaceful orientation that results. Second practice, inner connection journal. Set aside certain everyday times to enter notes into a journal. Ask yourself, what is my intuition telling me today? And allow your hands to move naturally. This technique enables buried knowledge to surface and allows you to reach more levels of your existence. You will discover signals and trends that point your path throughout time. Third practice, acts with awareness of compassion. Enables your spiritual path to flourish also by helping others. You promise to do everyday little deeds of kindness, a word of comfort, a smile, or a helping hand to someone in need. These deeds not only brighten the life of others around them, but also elevate their own vibrations, therefore creating a virtuous loop of love and empathy. I dare you to accomplish in the next 24 hours to gauge the profundity of these techniques. Spend some quiet time listening closely to what your intuition advises you to do. Though it sounds little, follow this attitude and notice how it improves your daily life. This is a means of demonstrating the potency that deliberate applications of these techniques generate. Internal resistance is a normal aspect of the trip, however. Often, the familiarity of what is known attempts to veer the selected off the road of development. But embrace this problem as a sign of development. Keep on and remove these obstacles. Those who are tenacious will ascend to the most highest levels of insight and vision. I exchange you to act right now. Your spiritual road from now on will be directed and quality-wise determined by what you do with this understanding. You are reachable for the transition. You will answer the call. Let us keep in mind the pillars supporting our spiritual path today. The apostles are whispering words of wisdom and protection, so enabling us to see beyond the shadows and ultimately recognize the inner voices crying to that you arouse the actual potential of your soul. As long as we come to the end of this revelation, remember, dear selected, this is just another phase of a road towards its greater essence, a journey always ongoing beyond the seeming horizon. Now, I encourage you to a close-up and forceful meditation. With this fact before you, what action will you decide upon? This choice will determine your path going forward. It sees it as a compass, leading its every morning. I accept my call is a gesture that resonates beyond words. It is a statement to the cosmos, a renewed covenant with its divine purpose, a reaffirmation of the trust that links it to the Creator. Hence, I would like you to validate this moment, writing in the comments, Let us close this insight with a forceful prayer. May God enlighten your steps, strengthen your soul, and open your eyes to the hidden truths. Following the road meant for you should help you to discover clarity, strength, and direction. Bless. As you start to understand your true purpose, get ready, as an even deeper truth is about to be unearthed in the next video. Let us investigate something that can really transform your perspective and change the path of your life. The road does not finish here. A universe of knowledge, still scale awaits to be discovered.